Yeah, I sold AMD into strength. I thought kind of funny. It's up. It was up. It went up another 5% in pre-market. But I felt like a lot of the things I'm holding are getting extended. I mean, they're just straight up. The semi names AMD and Soxel were the most extended. I sold AMD just to take some risk off the tables, take some chips off the table. And also, I'm starting to watch Nvidia for a potential short. I think it may need 350 first, but there's so many things setting up, so you can always rotate your money into something new that hasn't gone yet. And AMD also was one of my slowest, if not my slowest ADR position. So I'm looking to rotate that money into something faster, maybe Lucid. Something that has more potential. This Lucid, I think, has a 50-100% potential versus AMD. Maybe it can go another 20% over the next few weeks or months. I don't know. I always want to put my money where it has the most potential. Goose EP. Oh yeah, long range break. This thing had some really nice EPs back in 2017. A lot of follow through. Yeah, maybe. BTBT, yeah, BTBT hasn't had this thing has been sideways for the past few months, where all the other crypto names have had big runs for the past month, right? Look at GBTC. Look at SI. Look at Mara. And now you look at BTBT. Something is wrong with it, it should have run. Now, if Bitcoin picks up again and goes another, takes another leg higher, I mean, can it run? Sure, but I wouldn't be interested in it unless it gets massive volume. Sometimes laggards can catch up, but I would like to see big volume, right? This thing has made big moves in the past, so it can definitely run. But yeah, unless it can get big volume and actually get moving. Guys, guys, if you're relying on scanners to find EPs, unless it's like a pre-market extended hours volume scanner, gapper scanner, you're doing it wrong. This was very obvious long before the open. The numbers were out, it was gapping up. You need to be on top of these things. Exactly, it's a pre-market gapper, that's how you find this. Jidin. Well, characteristics of this earnings season is a lot of these EPs kind of fail, especially these follow-up ones. Last earnings season, that was just a monster. There were so many things that worked really well. This earnings season is a little bit trickier because a lot of these stocks are already extended. And the indices are extended. Is it better to look for neglected consolidated base breakouts rather than breakouts from setups in uptrends? That's a good question, and that's something you can find out if you study these setups. I'll give you some homework. For the next year, I want you to study 1,000 EPs over the last, say, 10 years. And you will become a master of this setup. And you will find out the answer for yourself. Instead of taking everything I say as gospel, you guys, you should find out these things for yourselves. That's the problem, someone says this, then everyone says this. Someone else says that, then everyone says that. But no one verifies what actually works, how things really work. That's the big problem. This is why 95% of people fail in this business. So you have a choice. Do you want to take someone who says something as gospel, or you want to find out for yourself and verify if it really works in a certain way? Maybe you will come to other conclusions, your own conclusions. Exactly, you can steal ideas, you can't borrow conviction. I've stolen every single trading concept I use. Or let's say borrowed. I borrowed everything. I haven't come up with any of the things I use. Not a single thing. And when I go to when I bought my new yacht, I was surprised. They didn't ask if I had, made the money from things I invented myself, or if I made the money from borrowing other people's ideas. No one asked me that. I know. No one ever asked me what my risk reward were, on my trades, or if I made the money shorting or going long, what stocks. No one ever asked those questions. It's so sad. I want to go to the store. Wouldn't it be great if you go to the store and the cashier asks you, hey, did you make this money from shorting or going long? You can do whatever you want as long as it pays the bills. That's what I'm saying. Instead of taking everything I say as gospel and do exactly, you can do things your own way. You can verify. Maybe you find better ways of doing things. Yeah, in these types of runaway markets, you need to have imagination. That's something, I'm looking, just go back and look at what happened like last year. These runaway moves, right? I mean, this looks similar to what Tesla looks today, right? 2 sideways days, right? You're like, holy shit, this thing is due for a pullback to the 10 day, to the 20 day. Instead, I look at what happened, right? Went up another 48% in 2 sessions. Same thing here, it was extended, went sideways a few days, boom. Another 25% in 2 sessions. I mean, this is just one stock. There's so many other examples, like an NIO last year too. These runaway moves. There's something, especially if you can get a really good risk reward on the 60-minute chart. Man, technical issues are really, really scaring me. Now, thankfully, it didn't hurt me in any way. I was trying to get into some stocks, but I managed to do it in another account instead. But imagine if something is really going against you, you can't get out because of technical issues near the open. Holy fuck, that's a nightmare. I've said it before. The only thing in trading between you and hundreds of millions, it's you. But I want to add something. You plus technical issues. The only thing that can ruin it in trading for you, except for yourself, is technical issues. That's why you really need to have, backup broker, backup platforms, not everything in one place. Are there insurance policies that cover tech issue losses for traders? Never heard about it. I don't think there are. Yeah, Airbnb. I wish I'd bought more, and I think I would have bought more if I didn't have the technical issues, but it took all my attention away the first 5 minutes. I managed to get, let's see, I still have a partial order in 191. I don't think it's gonna get there. I got 53,000 shares at 190.88 average. Just, 190.88. This, I would have probably, I would have maybe bought another 10-15, but yeah. Big C, well, what's the problem with Big C? The problem is it would have been better if it had gapped up over 60. That would have been a sign of strength. The thing about Big C, it would have been a better buy above 60 than it's here in the mid 50s. The fact they couldn't get above this area, this low 60 area, above all this moving average and this recent range, even better would have been a gap up to low 70s, low mid 70s. Get above this, range, get to the clean air area. This is not a sign of strength. I'm not saying this is gonna happen, but it's probably gonna hit these moving averages and then it's gonna slam down again. It may not happen. It may just bust through and go to 80, but my experience tells is opens like these are very weak. Yeah, Lucid is holding. Oh, it's bouncing because Lucid at this point is pretty much the double Tesla. Like it trades pretty much like Tesla does intraday now. Tesla downticks, Lucid downticks. I did size down a little bit. But yeah, this range is, oh man, I think once it gets going, it's gonna get detached from Tesla. If Tesla goes up another 10%, this is gonna go up 50%. Yeah, look at how Tesla, reclaimed, tried to break down this range, tried to dip and just immediately reclaimed. That's such a sign of strength. That is such a sign of strength. Also, these energy ETFs are this XUP, this is a beautiful flag. Look at how it's surfing the 20-day. This thing wants to do a leg higher. I think this Lucid could get interesting. I think this thing, the volume this thing had, and the fact that it's a former runner, it went up 540% in like a month. this thing could do something special. I think it could do something special. I really do think so. And now it's detached from Tesla. Tesla is not going higher anymore, but Lucid is. That's great. I want to add more. I got sized. I had to size down when it dipped near the open. So I sold like 40% of my position. Now I added it back plus some more, but I still want to get another 150,000 shares. Exactly, that's what makes the market. Everyone has different outlook, everyone has different time horizons, everyone wants different things out of the market. Some people want to make money, some people just want to gamble, have fun, because they're bored, they just want to make trades. Some people invest. Some institutions do make markets. Everyone has a different agenda in the markets. Roblox is too. It's very choppy. It needs to. They have earnings next week on Monday. If it has a breakout, earnings breakout, an EP, I'm like fundamentally, I really like this company. I think it's a very exciting thing they're doing. But obviously the earnings need to confirm that. So if it can, but it's building higher lows since March, since the IPO. It's getting tighter, and if it can break out with volume, it can make a big move. Yeah, SI, I screwed that one up. I really did, man. I was looking at it here. I just didn't pull the trigger because I was in it. I bought SI here somewhere. I think I bought it here somewhere, and just keep building higher lows. And then when it finally went, I didn't buy it. Fuck. Oh. I was looking at it down here. And then I looked at it on this day too, and I was like, nah, I should have bought it here. Like here, I was like, nah, it's not gonna go this time either. And then when it broke out here, I'm like, nah, I should have bought it here. And here we are, 80% higher. Oh, fuck. It looked so good on the weekly and monthly. That's how you overthink yourself out of money. And then here too, I didn't buy it because I wanted like one more day of sideways or something. Nah, I really didn't pay attention, but I'm telling you guys, you are the only one who's gonna determine how well you do in this business. You're the only one, no one else. That's what's beautiful. No office politics, you have no boss. It's just you. You and yourself. How did I decide so fast for Airbnb tweet? Well, mostly because all of these other ones, and I had a bunch more on the watch list that I took off. I had Net that I took off. Well, Net is like super extended. Like if anyone bought Net today, I mean, Purple Heart to them. But Bill and these, they just didn't look. They were just kind of had already in 6-month uptrends. D-Dog, this one is in a long uptrend. And there were a few more. But Airbnb was, it's been pretty much going sideways for a year, almost 11 months. Been building higher lows and yeah. Look, the more earning seasons you go through, you're gonna get better, okay? It's gonna be confusing. Like every gap up is gonna be an EP. Oh my god, there's so many EPs! Oh my god, I'm gonna miss all of them! Ah! And then you realize, wait, 99% of all the gap ups are not worth it. You need to find the ones that are actually, there's something special. Technicals and fundamentals. That's why it's so funny, once I posted the EP blog post, everyone started, writing on Twitter and also in the chat. Suddenly everything was an EP. Every little shit stock was an EP. And there was a stock that was really hilarious. Which one was it? There was some stock. Some guy claimed a stock that was like down on the day, like down or break even on the day like 3 months ago was an EP. I'm like, dude, don't ever write to me again. I didn't say that, but I think I just lolled or something. I mean, it's just incredible. I don't know. Why I quit Interactive Brokers? The way you phrased it is like, why did you quit smoking, or why did you quit doing drugs? Well, the value proposition wasn't there anymore. They couldn't do anything I couldn't do better or cheaper at other brokers. That's the reason. And I always hated their platform. Always hated their platform. It's just so bad. Horribly bad. It's just such a bad platform. Holy fuck. Guys, if you're choosing your broker, margin rates, it's like totally irrelevant. It doesn't matter if you pay 1% or 2%, it's irrelevant. What matters is, depending on how you trade, execution, stability of the platform, commissions, that's the most important thing. Also like stuff like, how this shorting these momentum stocks, the short locates, which by the way are horrible on IB. That's what matters. Short interest, it's like the dumbest reason ever to choose a broker. Totally irrelevant. Not short interest, margin interest, sorry. Because most of the time you're not going to use margin anyways. And if you do, if you're like a day trader, you may only use it like intraday. And it's just, the cost is just so small. It's not even, it's totally irrelevant. Focus on the stuff that's relevant. You choose your broker for ESG ratings and energy efficiency profile. There you go. Now that's something I can get behind. Are your brokers servers powered by solar or other renewable energy, or is it powered by coal? That's what matters. That's really important. The marginability of stocks is horrible on IB2. Some random stocks you buy, they use up all your buying power. It's like, what? So, the way I trade, IB is great, I guess, if you trade like international stocks or like, I don't know, FANG stocks, the large mega caps. But if you're gonna do shorting or trading any type of small or mid cap, or the ones that actually where the money is, if you have a smaller ish account, it's completely useless to use IB. It really is. CCL, look at where it got rejected, right? These moving averages. NCLH, this one is above the moving averages, but it's fading. This is not something I would trade. These types of stocks, super difficult. I did trade them last year because, they were Momo in these things. Was big downside momentum, and then there were some big upside momentum. But now these are uninteresting. These are stocks, these types don't DP. You're gonna learn. If you study hundreds or even thousands, you're gonna understand what type of stocks, are well suited for like EP type of trading, and which ones are like waste of time. But there are still things setting up, even with the indices extended, there are still some things I like energy. Like energy doesn't care about like what NASDAQ and the SPICE does. Like these things, they can move on their own. But yeah, energy is interesting for next week. Maybe a short in some of these, especially these semiconductor stocks, AMD, Nvidia can keep going straight up. And Soxol could be an interesting short opportunity, potentially developing for next week. I still like this AMC and GME, like they're not going away. They're building flags. Maybe these things can wake up and have a big leg up. They both look really good on the weekly and month. They look, these things are beautiful flags. GME already broke out, but I sold my position when it lost the lows of this day. When it took out the intraday lows 2 days ago, I sold all of my position. My initial buy was like 190 or something, or 192. You don't need to pay for any of the earnings information. Markets does make things easier because you can easily see, like let's look at Airbnb for example. Because you can easily see the growth numbers, right? Generally, but not always, but on earnings EPs, you want to see triple digit EPS and or revenue growth. But high double digits are good too. That's ideally what you want to look for. So you can easily see this asterisk. It means it's just reported in the last week or 2 weeks or something like that. So you know that, okay, when you get an asterisk, they have reported. Sometimes they're a bit slow. They have updated the platform. Sometimes they're a bit slow. So you can clearly see like the numbers. You can see like, I don't know, net, for example. High, mid double digit revenue growth. So I think Marcus, even though it's total boomer software, and they haven't done anything to improve it past like 10 years. The way they present the data is it just makes it very easy. I haven't found a substitute, but oh man, I'm searching, guys. I just want to get rid of this boomer software as quickly as possible, but haven't really found anyone who presents the data as nicely as they do. Earnings Whisper, today report EPS and revenue growth numbers, because the growth is important, and you also want to see like the forward growth. You want to be able to quickly calculate the next quarter's growth if they provide guidance.